For this Basecamp adventure, we stay local to our roots and return to the medieval Welsh town of Conwy in North Wales. And we also explore Llyn Geirionydd with its great views of the Carneddau mountains. Join us on this fantastic Basecamp weekend adventure. For this weekend adventure, I pitch up in Llanrwst. My campsite of choice is Carneddau, which is one of 3 campsites in the same location. There is a gorgeous CL overlooked by the farmhouse. There is Carneddau, which is a family campsite. And I have chosen the adults only campsite. When you arrive, check-in is in a gorgeous farmhouse. And for the dog owners, there is a separate dog walk section, which just happens to overlook my pitch. Perfect. Not forgetting, nestled in the corner is the facilities block. When I arrived at my pitch, I practiced reversing onto the pitch as I always do. And from the start, I'm looking rather aligned. But as I'm levelling up, I notice I'm about to go on the grass. So I pull forward, straighten up and complete the manoeuvre. Not bad. That's 1 year of practice in action. So here we are on our pitch in Park Derwin in Llanrwst. Beautiful campsite. So let's have a look at the setup, the usual setup. So I've got my hitch cover from Bags Fun Creations, Basecamp Orange as always. Electric hookup. I'm on the 25 metre cable. So I've got a 10 metre and a 25 metre on board. I'm on a 25 metre cable. I'm on a fully serviced pitch. So I have a direct water supply into the Aquarol, and then obviously the connection into the Caravan pumping when I need it. I've got the external shower connected and the 2 mats ready to wash the dog. Tomorrow's a big hiking day, so I'm expecting muddy paws, so we'll be using that. Got the Malenko hitch lock on as always. And then obviously I've got my long grey drain pipe draining there into the drain. Let's go around the other side. And I've got the RVA2 awning on, proving to be the touring awning of choice. Yeah, it's a cracking awning that. What I like here is the campsite provide this extra large mat, which is great because this kind of hardcore on a pitch gets absolutely everywhere. So they've supplied that rubber mat. So let's go in. I've got the awning carpet, the Dometic Camper 200 awning carpet down. My new accessory is I've bought these new steps, the Camper foldable double step, replacing the standard plastic step because my wife had a little accident on that plastic step. It slipped from under her feet when we were at a service station, so I've got the wallet out and replaced them. Really like them. Look, they are, look at the very shallow gradient on them. Perfect. And as we go into the base camp, it's all the usual setup. Got the kettle and my Dolce Gusto. I'm not using fresh water bottles because I'm quite happy to drink water straight from the water supply. It's only when my wife's with me that we have water bottles. Yep, all the usual. The dog, of course. 24-inch TV. Yep, we're all set. Whoever came up with this idea originally is a genius. Literally finished setting up. Just put the awning up in time and this rain band's come through. How lucky was that? So we'll relax with a cup of tea, wait for this to pass through. And the dog and I are going to go to Conwy for a pint. Conwy, often known as Conwy in English, is a very famous market town in North Wales. Conwy is famous for its castle, which was built by Edward I during his conquest of Wales between 1283 and 1287. The castle was constructed as part of a wider project to create the walled town. Conwy is a World Heritage Site and the walls are judged to be the finest in Britain. They are not only completely intact but largely unencumbered by later building and still give the impression of enclosing and protecting the town. The walls are open to the public to walk and the circuit of the walls is approximately 3/4 of a mile in length with 21 towers at regular intervals. The construction of the town walls went hand in hand with that of the castle and they were essentially completed by 1286. The views from the walls are fantastic. The town is also famous for hosting the smallest house in Great Britain. This minuscule home was created in the 16th century and remained in use until 1900 when the tenant was a 6-foot 3-inch fisherman. And no visit to Conwy is complete without sampling one of their local ales in the Erskine Arms. Guess what? For being my bestest friend ever, got a little treat for you. There you go, darling. So, the plan for this evening. Well, looks like the dog's already settling into her plan. But the plan for this evening, I've got a ready meal in the oven. So that'll be ready in about half an hour, lamb hot pot in the oven. Put some veggies. And we are going to get a film on and then get an early night as we have a big day hiking tomorrow. I'm sure the dog will be up for it. So the plan for today, I've got a 7-mile hike planned. So if I show you where we're at, that's where we are there in the blue dot in Llanrwst. And then this is my hike for today here. It starts at Llyn Geirionydd and it's a 7-mile hike. There's another Llyn there around, I can't remember what that one's called. And there's a peak, a 475 metre peak that we'll hike up to. That should give a lovely view today of the mountains of the Carneddau, and then we'll loop back round. So probably about 4 hours on the move. I'm doing things slightly different today on this hike. I'm taking my jet ball with me because I've got this to cook, something to eat. I think something to eat, beef stew with potatoes. This is food I normally use for wild camping, but we'll take it with us today and hopefully we'll get a nice quiet spot with a nice view of the Llyn and we'll cook this up. It's an extra large one because I'm sure the dog will want some. Our hike starts at Llyn Geirionydd, which is a hidden gem within Snowdonia National Park, a peaceful lake surrounded by lush forests and breathtaking mountains. The Llyn itself meets the lower slopes of the Carneddau mountains. The footpaths around the Llyn were moderate, and I was grateful for my hiking pole. However, on 4 paw power, the footpaths are clearly a breeze. Later on our walk, I stumble across a deserted mine shaft, but I'm not brave enough to venture in there on my own. Later, we reach the shores of Llyn Crafnant, where the head of the valley offers a profile of stunning crags. I timed the firing up of the jet boil perfectly with the passing of a weather front bringing strong wind and rain. But undeterred, we shelter behind a rock and get a boil on anyway. We sit together, enjoying the view of Llyn Crafnant and the formation of a rainbow just in front. And as we progress further into the Carneddau, I reflect on what a sensational walk this has turned out to be. Upon returning to the base camp, the external shower comes into its own. Not only does the poor dog have to endure a 4-paw wash down, she also has to go through a full shampoo too. So the plan for this evening, pretty similar to last night. Just going to finish off some vlogging. Then me and the dog are going to relax with a film. I'm sure the dog will be flat out. And then for my dinner this evening, I've got another ready meal in the fridge, a chicken casserole and some veg. So we'll get that on in a bit. We'll have a nice, easy, relaxing night. And then come morning, we'll pack up and head back home. Well, it's going to be a soggy pack up this morning. I was grumbling this morning with the dog waking me up at 6 o'clock to let her out, but I'm glad she did, because I saw this rain coming in on the radar and I've already taken the awning down as a consequence. That saved me a good soaking. The rain eventually passes, and with the awning already down, it is not long before I'm hitched back to the car. All that is left for me to do are my final checks before I depart home. And that brings to the end another fantastic base camp adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one soon.